Hey friends, welcome back. It's Bailey here. This is the continuation of our episode on Next in Fashion. It aired on Netflix January of 2020. So this is part two of the discussion on the biases in Next in Fashion, how that series played out, and what effects that had on Farai and Kiki, two black designers that were on the competition. So we're talking about episode five now. This episode is underwear. I've said before already in episode one, or sorry, part one of this discussion, I've already talked about, the setup of the show and the judging process and things like that. So if you haven't watched that part, just go back and watch that and you'll have some context for this. So the guest judge for episode five is Adriana Lima, and she's a well-known supermodel. If you've ever watched a Victoria's Secret fashion show or seen any Victoria's Secret ad or like ever been to the mall, you've probably seen her face and her body. She's gorgeous and she's very well known. So she comes on to guest judge this episode along with Tan and Alexa. And the contestants that are left over from this episode are tasked to create a lingerie look, an underwear look specifically. And as we said, there was no elimination during the fourth episode. So Farai and Kiki, as well as Claire and Adolfo, got through. What's funny and interesting is that Claire and Adolfo, their reaction to the judge's decision to not send anybody home is a little bit nasty. I didn't really expect that, especially coming from Claire, who is also a black woman, whether it be half or whole, whatever. She's Korean and black, and even in the previous episode when it was her and Adolfo up against Farai and Kiki to go home, you can kind of see her like shaking her head, like kind of in agreement with some of the things that Farai says during her statement at the judging. So it's interesting that now, when basically I guess she was assuming or thinking that they were going to be sent home, but that didn't happen. And so now both her and Adolfo are a little rude. They're a little upset. They're a little nasty. And they're just making comments like, we know who should have went home, this and that. And it's like, really, y'all? Because y'all were in the bottom two too. So don't try to come for Farai and Kiki like they were so obviously worse than you, because they really weren't at all. Their design was like a plastic bag, and that's why they were in the bottom two. It was hideous. Anyhow, so that happens. It's a little weird, but it's funny. They're taken care of in the next episode anyway. They get eliminated on the sixth episode. Spoiler there. So anyhow, they're asked to create this lingerie look. Obviously, we're talking about this again because Kiki and Farai have issues. They end up in the bottom two along with Minju and Angel, who are kind of like the golden children, which I don't understand because I don't like most of what they put out. And they're Asian. I think one of them is from China and one of them is from South Korea. I believe that is mostly correct. So it's interesting. They're in this competition still considered a minority, I guess, even though this competition is a lot more international. Anyhow, so they both end up in the bottom two. I will insert pictures here of both looks. And to me, Minju and Angel's look wasn't even lingerie. It wasn't underwear. It wasn't lingerie. It was disgusting. It looked like a curtain or... oh, wait. I said that their look from episode 4 looked like a curtain as well. Do you see a trend here? I do. It literally was like a lace curtain. They said that it was inspired by Monet's water lilies. And, I mean, that's great. But why is there so much fabric? Like, I don't understand. Who's wearing that to be sexy? Or like whether it's for someone else or for yourself, like who is wearing that to bed? I mean, I don't know. I've never been to Asia. Maybe it's really cold there and everyone wears like sweatpants to bed. And but I'm just like, why? I wouldn't think of, when I look at that, it doesn't even look like something I would sleep in or like, lounge in or lay in the bed in or have a slumber party in. Like, it doesn't look like that. Just like the episode before, their look did not look like streetwear. So I'm just a little confused about what's going on here. Again, maybe I'm crazy or maybe things just look different in person. And yeah. Anyhow, they were in the bottom two, and it's almost like it's like they barely even made the cut for the bottom two, because the judges were almost like sad for them to be in the bottom two. Like, really, their look was bad. And for them to start the episode over, so okay, we're gonna cut the bull. Farai and Kiki go home this episode, which is absolutely crazy because they go home against someone who didn't even create a lingerie look. Like, it's despicable to me because their look was actually really, really cute. They got points deducted because they didn't have underwire in their cups in their bra, in their like corset or in their bralette top, which is again despicable because most of the time when you buy a bralette, it doesn't have a underwire in it. It doesn't have any kind of structure because it's a bralette. It's not a bra. Even a lot of bras don't come with underwire because they can be really annoying to some women. So for them to have points deducted mainly because they did not have underwire in their bralette is despicable, especially going home up against what we saw Angel and Minju present that didn't even fit into the category for the challenge. It was despicable to me in like this episode that almost made me stop watching completely because it really did feel like they were being gunned for. They were in the bottom two for 5 out of 6 episodes, or sorry, 4 out of 5 episodes at the very beginning, and it was just like, if we're not appreciated here, why are we here? Like, what's the point? Anyhow, so we're gonna get a little bit deeper into it. Of course, like I've already said, Minju and Angel's look. It wasn't even lingerie. It was despicable. Also, it was unstructured. You could see on the side, it was like there was like gaping in the design that they made for the women's look. The men's look, I can't even tell you what that looked like, to be honest. It was equally hideous. And so the judges even said that their look was sexless. The attire they presented was sexless. Like, it had no understanding, no reminiscence of sex or being sex-like or sexy. It didn't have any of that. That should have been the key indicator for them to go home that episode. For them to start the episode and Alexa saying, we couldn't eliminate anyone last time and we're starting over. For them to say we're starting over fresh and then not eliminate someone who doesn't fulfill the challenge and then eliminate someone else who fulfills the challenge, I don't have the words. I was very disappointed. In addition to that look, and this isn't meant to tear anybody down per se, that's really not my goal, but the goal is to understand and see, like, there's bias here and there's misjudgment here, and it's not okay. But I want to paint the picture and lay the land and really like put everything on the table for you all to understand, like, this was not okay. This was not a fair decision for Farai and Kiki to go home. In order to do that, I kind of do have to get into the mistakes and the misjudgings and the like crappy work that some of the other contestants do. Sorry. And so also, Angelo and Carly, they didn't present a male look at all. If we look back at that episode, they didn't present a true male look. At the beginning, the judges even said, just a little like boxer short for the male look, like that's not gonna cut it for this episode. That's not what we're asking for. We're asking for something innovative. We're asking for something fresh, something that is like sexy, all of those things. Their women look was good. Their women's look was good. Their male look was a pair of black boxers. As they went down the runway, I think that their models, thank God for models, I think that their models did a really good job of showing that off and displaying and presenting and like really making you feel the vibes. But at the end of the day, their male look was like just boxers. Oh my gosh. And they weren't even like, there was like literally nothing interesting about them. They were literally black boxers, which is amazing to me. Another twist, I forgot to mention that they kind of threw in here, they had plus size models. They called them extended size models, but they have plus size models too. So I guess they kind of wanted to see, what they could do that wasn't just designing lingerie for a normal, very, very slim woman. So that comes into play a lot here as well, I guess, because the judges are like, she's a plus size woman. We wanted to see more structure in her top to lift her up or whatever. But it's like, that's not it. You just wanted to send them home. So Farai and Kiki say that they take inspiration from a super rich couple that owns a yacht. This couple is like in loungewear. That's kind of like what they're going for. So their look for the male is a loose trouser with a robe. And then their look for the female is a cami bralette and boy shorts. So the judges think, again, that their work is lacking structure. It's not well supported for the woman. And it's funny because I didn't think that underwire was a requirement for loungewear. It's actually kind of annoying if you're in loungewear. Again, despicable. Despicable. So that's what the judges' comments are on. It's also a double standard because the other group of contestants that they're up against, Angel and Minju, their design, lingerie, if you can call it that, has no structure at all. There's gaping on the side of the female look, and it's just like literally like drapery on them, which I guess is what they like to do, but it's like not cute. It's not okay. It's not even close to being okay. Anyhow, at the end of the day, Farai and Kiki are sent home based off of this look, which is actually really, really cute. And I actually saw it and I was like, this would be a really cute bralette to wear, like for loungewear or like going out. But yes, they say that it's lacking in structure and that it's not going to be able to properly support a woman of that size, extended woman's bust size, and it's very disheartening. Again, this competition this episode is judged by 3 judges. It's kind of to the effect of like this has to be unanimous for someone like Adriana Lima, for anyone to like judge that sexless sexless look presented by Angel and Minju was better than Farai and Kiki's is an abomination. Like it's ugly, it's disgusting. Again, these are the issues that we face. These 2 black women could have had $250,000 in their own line on Net-a-Porter. Maybe they wouldn't have won. And I'm being facetious. Maybe they wouldn't have won the entire competition, but I definitely don't feel like it was justifiable for them to leave on that episode. But that's just my opinion. Let me know if you feel differently. Feel free to argue. I welcome it. But yes, that's pretty much all I have for you all this episode. If you have any questions or any comments, leave them below. I'm happy to interact. Thanks for watching, y'all.